Hello students, good morning. Welcome back to your 26th lecture of English Grammar of Essay 2. As we know that we had learnt about the preposition in our previous lesson, which is lesson number 18, right? And then we had done the textbook workbook exercise of unit 9 grammar part exercise in our previous lecture. Today we are going to start our new lesson number 20, and the name of the lesson is punctuation. Let's see what will we learn here in this lecture today. First of all, we will see the introduction. In this topic I will tell you one story with similar to the punctuation mark, right? Not a same but a little bit similar. Then we will see what are punctuations. Then I will explain the definition of punctuation marks. Then we will see and learn about the different kind of punctuations. How many punctuations are there? What are the punctuations? Right? And among of these punctuation marks, today we are going to learn the uses of one punctuation mark, and it is the capital letter. So we will learn the uses of capital letters. I will explain the uses with the examples. Then you can get clarity of the uses of the capital letters, where we use the capital letters, right? And then according to the uses of capital letters, we will do the exercise to get more clarity of the uses of capital letter or the topic. Okay, so let's start. Before we are going to start our today's topic, punctuation mark, I would like to tell a story. And the story is regarding to the traffic rules. As we know that what the traffic light says us, right? What are the traffic rules? Then as we know the rules of the traffic lights, what are the traffic lights is, when, how many traffic lights are there, and what they indicates. We already know that there are 3 traffic lights in a traffic signal. Which are they? Red, blue is there? No. Yellow and green. Yes. Red tells us to what, yellow tells us to what, and green tells us to what. And how do we follow and why we follow these traffic rules? Let's see. Just look at here at the traffic signal. Which light is here? Red light is on. Then when the red light turns on, at that time we have to stop our vehicles. Means we cannot drive while the traffic signal shows us the red light, right? So we have to stop at that time when we saw the red light in a traffic signal. Okay, then just look at the traffic signal. Which light is here? Yellow light is on. At that time when the red light turns into yellow light, at that time we slow our vehicles, or we have to wait for the green light. When the yellow light turns into green light, then we can move, otherwise we slow our vehicles. So just look at the bus. The bus is coming here, but when the driver looks at the yellow, then he slow down his bus, right? Then Now look at the yellow light turns into green light. Then what can we do? That what does the green light indicate us from the traffic signal? It means go, right? So when the driver show the yellow light turns into green light, the driver moves or drive the bus. So when we saw the red light, we stopped our vehicle. When we saw the yellow light from traffic signal, then we slow down our vehicle or wait for the green light. And when we saw the green light, then we move or drive our vehicle from the signal, right? Now you have a question, what is the similarity between traffic lights and punctuation marks? So do you know why we use the traffic lights? You have a question, why we use these traffic lights, why we have to wait, why we have to stop our vehicles at red light, why we have to slow down our vehicle or wait for the green light to moving our vehicles on the road. Yes, you have a question that. So we use this traffic signal, this traffic light indicates of these traffic lights to coordinate or control the traffic. If we are not following this rule, then the traffic jam is there and we stuck into the traffic jam, right? So we need a traffic follow. We have to follow the traffic lights to coordinate or control the traffic. So as a similar way, is the same way there are similar symbols in a English language. So it means that some symbols are there, they coordinate or control the English language. As without the symbols there is no meaning of to the sentence. It means that if the particular symbols are not there is in the sentence, the sentence does not have any meaning, right? So just look at the paragraph. I have written 2-line paragraph is, oh, I am very hungry, mother, give me something to eat, can you give me quickly? It is the paragraph. Now you understand what is this paragraph is going to say to us? No, we don't understand. Why? Because the paragraph is total mash. This paragraph don't have any sense, or we don't understand the meaning of the paragraph. What can the reader wants to tell us, right? So now what can we do? How can we understand? So that to understand this paragraph, we have to make some pauses, clause and certain symbols to read and understand. Same as the traffic lights, right? Now let's start this paragraph with some punctuation marks. Oh, I am very hungry. Mother, give me something to eat. Can you give me quickly? Here some punctuation marks we added to the paragraph, and then we can understand the meaning of the paragraph. And the meaning of the paragraph is, one boy or girl was hungry and he or she tells her mother to, oh mother, I am very hungry. Mother, give me something to eat. Or then he or she ask her mother, can you give it to quickly? Because she or he was very hungry, right? So now we understand the meaning of the paragraph. So we can say that without punctuation mark, it is very difficult to understand the sentence, right? So same as the traffic signal, traffic rules, without following the rules, we cannot ordinate the traffics. As the same way, we cannot, without the punctuation, we cannot understand the meaning of the sentence. It is very difficult to understand the sentence, right? So we can say that punctuation mark is very important for the English language. Now, after using this some punctuation mark to the paragraph, we understand that while speaking, we pause, stop, or change the tone of our voice to make our meaning clear. This helps people to understand what we are saying. When we write, must use punctuation marks to make our writing clear and meaningful. So, by using this punctuation mark while speaking, we use some punctuation mark. By using them, the person who are listening us, they understand what do we want to say to him, right? And when we are going to write about particular thing, at that time we use some punctuation mark in a writing to get the clear meaning or meaningful sentence. Okay, so let's see the definition. Now let's see what are the punctuation. So punctuation is the system or sign or symbols given to a reader to show how a sentence is constructed and how it should be read. So we can say that punctuation is a one kind of sign, one kind of symbol the reader has to be used while reading, and it shows the sentence, how is the sentence constructed. When you are asking something, then your pronunciation will be changed. When you say something to someone, then your pronunciation will be changed. When you are writing something, then what is the rules of writing with the some punctuation mark? You have to follow the rules while reading and also while writing. So we are the building blocks used to construct written accounts. It means that while we writing the sentence, at that time we have to use and follow all the rules of the punctuation marks. They are completing the sentence should be read and makes the meaning clear. So what punctuation help us? What do the punctuation help us? Then we can say that the punctuation marks help us to completing the sentence. Sentence should be read and makes the meaning clear. So we can say that the sentence get clear, meaningful, be a meaningful sentence by using the punctuation marks. Let's see what are the most common punctuation marks, and they are the most common punctuation marks in English are capital letters, full stop, question marks, commas, exclamation marks, colons, semicolons, etc. But here in this lesson, in this standard, we are going to particular learn about some of the punctuation marks, and they are capital letters, full stop, commas, question mark, exclamation mark. So in this lesson we are going to learn about these 5 punctuation marks. Which are they? Capital letter, full stop, commas, question mark and exclamation mark, right? So You already learnt this punctuation mark in your previous standard, but here we are going to slide deeply about this punctuation mark, right? So let's start. And the first punctuation marks we going to learn today is a capital letter. As we know that when we had learnt how to write a sentence, the first rule, very first and common rule is, what is the very first? We use a capital letter to mark the beginning of the sentence. It is the very common and very first rule of first uses of the capital letters, right? Understand? So when you had started the sentence writing in senior KG or in a first standard, what was your teacher said at that time? Write a first letter capital. Always remember that the first letter of the sentence will be a capital. So it is the very basic rule. So we can say that the first letter of the first word of every sentence should be capital. If it is a question, if it is a simple sentence, anyhow, the first letter of the first word of every sentence should be capital. It is used to show the importance, right? So let's see the example of this rule. The cow is grazing, right? Here, first letter, what is the rule? We use capital letter to mark the beginning of the sentence. Means we use the capital letter in the beginning of the sentence. The first letter of the sentence will be capital. And what is the first letter of the sentence? What is the first word? The is the first word. And what is the first letter of the first word is T. So here, when we use the capital letter, T will be capitalized. So what will be the answer? The cow is grazing. Understand? So this is the way you write whatever the sentence is there, but its first letter of the first word always should be capital. The next rule, next uses of the capital letter is all the beginnings of each line of the poetry. Now, have you learnt many poems in senior KG, right? Junior KG, senior KG, in first and second standard also. Have you noticed that all the first line of all the lines have capital letters? When you write the poem, first letter of the first line will be capital. Then when you write the another line, next line, then at that time the another line has a first letter and it should be also a capital. Let's see the example how to make it capital. So this is a very, very first poem which you had learnt in your nursery or playgroup. And let's read it. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So here we are talking about only that capital. So I have focused only on the capital letters. So what will we do? First letter of the first line means twinkle, first T, right? Then the second line is how. So how, the H of how also would be a capital when we are going to write in a proper, with the proper punctuation mark. So what will be the answer? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. This is the way it means all the lines of the poetry, its first letter of all the lines would be capital. And next uses is the word I is always written as a capital letter. I is a pronoun, it is a personal pronoun, it is a first person personal pronoun, right? And I is the always is the speaker. So whenever you use I in the beginning of the sentence, at the end of the sentence, in the middle of the sentence, whenever you use I always will be written in a capital letter. Understand? Just look at the below previous example. How I wonder what you are. Here I is a second word of the second line, but we have also written as a capital. So remember that thing. And look at the another example is that the boy and I are playing. Here the boy, the first letter, what should we do? Not only we capital not only the I, but follow all the rules. And what are the rules which we had learnt here as above? Which are the rules? In the beginning of the sentence we use the capital letter. If it is the poem, then we will write all the first line of the poem would be capital. And here we learn that we are learning about the I, and I, wherever the I is there, we write I as a capital letter. So in this sentence, the boy and I means T of the and I, both are going to capitalized. So let's see. The boy and I are playing. This is uses of the proper punctuation to make sentence clear and the meaningful, right? Let's use next uses is the proper noun begins with the capital letters. All the proper nouns, we already learnt about the proper nouns in our lesson number 4, right? Common noun and proper nouns we already learnt in a semester 1. So let's revise. Which are the some proper nouns? I have given some examples of proper nouns with the name. Proper nouns like names of rivers, names of mountains, names of roads, names of buildings, names of months, names of days, names of festivals, names of books, names of newspaper and magazines, title of the story. So these are some examples which we use them as a proper noun. So we can say that the newspaper, name of a newspaper, books means not only the books, also the subjects of learning subject, right? Names of rivers, mountains, days, months, festivals, which wherever the name of this type of proper noun, all the proper nouns, wherever they in the sentence, wherever the place of the proper noun in the sentence, maybe it is in the beginning of the sentence, it is in the middle of the sentence, or at the end of the sentence, but always remember that the proper noun always written with a capital letter. Okay, so let's start the example. Let's see the example and get more clarity of this rule. Diwali comes in the month of November. Here two proper noun is there, one Diwali and one November, right? Diwali is the name of festival and November is the name of the month, right? But here Diwali is in the first word. Diwali is the first word of the sentence. So if Diwali comes at the middle of the sentence or at the last of the sentence, we have to write first letter of Diwali in a capital letter, right? So what will we do to capitalize this sentence? Proper noun. Which are the proper noun? Diwali and November, and both noun has a first letter. We capitalize the first letter of the both nouns, and which are they? D and N. So what will be the answer? Just look at Diwali comes in the month of November. So this is the way you identify the proper noun from the sentence. Wherever they are, we have to capitalize their first letter. Let's see the another example. My favorite story is Alice in Wonderland. It is the title of the story, right? Here, just look at the sentence. First word is my and am. So, what will be the changes in the sentence? We will write am in a capital form because it is the first word of the sentence, first letter of the sentence, and then just as we know that, as we learnt here, that the title, if the title of the story is there, then we will write the first letter of the title of the story in a capital letter. So what will be the title of the story? Alice. So we will write A of Alice capital letter. So let's see the answer of this sentence. My favorite story is Alice in Wonderland. Understand? So this is the way we can capitalize the nouns by using these rules, right? So let's do the exercise of uses of capital, where we use the capital letters. So read the heading, put the capital letters at the proper place in the following sentences. In this exercise, we have given some sentences, and with these sentences, we have to use the capital letter. Where we use the capital letter, we already learnt about that. We use the capital letter in the beginning of the sentence. We use all the first letter of the poem, all the lines. Poetry has all the lines beginning with a capital letter. Then we will learn about when I is there in the sentence. Wherever the I is in the sentence, I always will be in a capital letter. Then we learnt that all the proper nouns begin with a capital letter. So these are the rules, and we have to just follow the rules and write the answers, right? So let's start the first sentence, and the first sentence is Ganga is a holy river of India. Here Ganga is a holy river. It is a name of a river. So if the Ganga, here the Ganga is the first word of the sentence. So if the Ganga is in the last position, then also we write the first letter of Ganga in a capital, because it is a name of a river, and name of a river is a proper noun. And India is a name of a country. So we can write also the first letter of India will be capital. So what will be the answer? Let's see. Ganga is the holy river of India. We write G of Ganga and I of India in a capital letter. We capitalize these both letters. Okay. Let's move on. The second, tiger is our national animal. Here, tiger is an animal. It is not a proper noun, but it is a first word of the sentence. We write the first letter of the first word in a capital letter, right? So what will be the answer? Tiger is our national animal. Understand? And the third sentence is as a poem. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Here, two lines given of the poem. So, what is the two lines? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall is the first line, and second line is Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, right? So, now remember, have you remembered the rule use of the poem? Capital when all the lines begin with a capital of the poem. Yes. So, what will we do? We will write H of Humpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, and when we start the another line, we also write the first letter of the second line is a capital letter. And just because of Humpty Dumpty is a proper noun, it is a name of a particular person. So Humpty and Dumpty both are the proper noun. So we write H of Humpty, D for Dumpty in a capital letter. So this is the uses of capital letters, and I hope you understand the uses of capital letters, and you can do now all the uses of capital letters with very easily, right? In our next lecture we will learn the uses of full stop, question mark, exclamation mark, etc. Thank you. Have a great day.